This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined by Future.
Who's you joined by?
Oh no, I was going to word it. I was going to shout out and the new. But let's wait 3 days before that confirmation. But change of opponent for you, obviously. How's that kind of affected things for you?
Not much. We was expecting someone tall, naturally a little bit bigger and rangy. Probably the only big difference is that she's a bit more natural at the weight. She's fought a heavier weight before, and she's a little bit more aggressive. So yeah, I won't have to chase her like I was planning to do. She'll probably come to me.
I see when the announcement come out originally that you were going to be challenging on this card for a world title, and I just kind of see the response from people, and everyone's kind of really happy for you and really willing for you, because you really kind of deserve a world title, not just a world title shot, but to win a world title. Kind of from when you turn professional, the fights that you had, who you've been in the ring with, you deserve your moment, and I think you're definitely going to get that on Saturday.
Yeah, me too. That's the plan anyway.
Big card as well to be fighting on, which is for yourself. You're fighting for a world title, but you can appreciate the Calmbrook element has kind of swamped everyone for the last 7-8 years. But you'll take that. You'll take that being on the undercard of that.
Yeah, no, listen, I'll be running into the change room, wiping sweat off and running back out to watch it, because it's like there's so many fights that haven't happened. Your Calzaghe Froch, and then there's fights that have happened past the date, like the Mayweather Pacquiao, but everyone still wants to watch, regardless of whether they think it's past their best or not. They still want to watch and see what happens. This is bragging rights for the winner. So yeah, I'll be just as interested as everybody else, and I'm made up to be on getting chief support on a card like this. So all eyes are on it, all eyes are watching, and it'll help my profile as well.
Just looking at some of the comments on social media, I see some people tweeting, oh, I'm not going to watch that, that should have happened years ago. But I think you're talking rubbish. Like, you are going to tune in at some point to watch this fight, because, like you said, there's a lot of fights that could have happened. And the Ricky Hatton Jr. Witter one comes to mind straight away from years ago. But we are getting to see this. Maybe it is a few years too late, but surely that's better than not seeing it at all.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I think, everyone talks about the ifs and buts of other fights that don't happen, and like you kind of, I'm not saying your legacy is changed by not doing them, but there's so many fights that fans want to see and don't get, and then it's like, oh, it doesn't happen. And even the Fury and AJ, but does that ever happen? And the saga of all that, but when the fight actually happens, regardless of when it is, it doesn't matter, all form and everything. It's like a domestic rivalry, a Liverpool-Man U game. It doesn't matter what your form is. When you come into that game's like, form goes out the window. And I think that's the same with, Brooke Khan. I think, it doesn't matter who you've fought in the past, doesn't matter how hard you can punch, it doesn't matter how well you can box. When it comes to, your ego being on the line, and it doesn't matter, and it's all about that night and who's best on that night.
Well, that fight's secondary, because your priority is your fight, obviously, on Saturday. But you've had to be patient in your career, haven't you, Tash? Because, like I said, you've had the fights. Things haven't always gone your way, but I do feel personally that this Saturday is going to be a bit of a pivotal moment in your career.
Yeah, I've had my ups and my downs. I've had me G-ups and my setbacks, but hopefully it shows how committed I am, and how much being a world champion means to me, and my family, and all the sacrifices I make with my little girl and stuff. And she was so involved in the Harper camp, like, obviously because we was in a lockdown, that like, when I left on the week, I think it was the Sunday, I left, the Monday I left to go up. I was like, right, babe. She was like, Mum, go win the belt. And I was like, I'll win the belt, I'll bring the belt back. And then when I came back, because of how the fight went, and that I believed I won, I was like, I had to go back. She went, Mum, did you get it? And I was like, kind of, babe. And it was so hard, because she was so involved, and there was lots of things that she was there and seen and lived and breathed that camp with me, to come back and not have anything to show for it. Same with Taylor. Like, I just think, like, no one sees that side, do you know what I mean? And that they don't see that, like, I'm a mum before anything, and they don't see the sacrifices I have to make with my little girl and being at home and all that time that I have to give up in the pursuit of becoming a world champion and being at peace with my boxing career.
Yeah, from someone who's a newly crowned father of only a year ago, can kind of appreciate your comment there about being away from your daughter, etc., and just the sacrifices you've had to make. And people don't always see that, and only certain people within boxing who go through the same actually get that.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, people judge you, and you're on a stage performing and entertaining people, and they judge you for the time that you're in the ring, which is what we're there for. But they don't see, as an amateur, they don't see the 4 years that you subject yourself to be an Olympian. You sign up for a contract for 4 years. You have to stay there and perform week in, week out, month in, month out for 4 years, and then as a pro, you sign, you're dedicating 10 weeks of your life. And people say selfish, and you've got to be really selfish. So that means cutting off things that might family, friends, occasions, events, and people don't see them sacrifices. But we've just been talking literally seconds ago in the car coming here about someone said all the downs, is it worth it for them ups, and unfortunately for every athlete it is. And that's what you do to yourself, camp in, camp out, competition in, competition out.
We know how invested your trainer, Joe Gallagher, is into his fighters. Very emotionally invested as well. You can literally see what wins and losses mean to Joe. So this will be a moment for Joe as well on Saturday.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, he's the first person people blame when it goes bad, and the last person they congratulate when it goes good. So I 100% want to do it for me, my family, and what it means to them, but I do want to do it for Joe as well.
Just finally, what's going to happen? Give me a prediction. I know, obviously.
No, I don't.
What?
I don't do predictions. I'm prepared for a 10-round fight. That's all I'm going to say.
That's fair enough. We'll leave it on that. Have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish, Natasha?
No.
Well, listen, we all, not just in Manchester, but everyone wishes you the best of luck, because I'm sure, I'll struggle to find anyone that won't will you to win that world title come Saturday.
There's a few, I'm sure.
Well, let them sit at home and still tune in.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you very much, and best of luck on Saturday.